I was here on time. I was just waiting for the YouTube figure to load. Hello, chat. Welcome. And yes, I do use an iPhone. I already answered this question because normally I use Samsung. Here on time. I was just waiting for the YouTube figure to load. Right. Usually I use Samsung because it's better in every way. But iPhone is good for VTubing. It's got the facial recognition software, and you can use it with the troll a lot better. Anyway, right, usually I am the one bringing you the news, and I will do that after the first 30 minutes. It's how it usually goes, right? Like the first 30 minutes I ramble alone, and then I talk about the news. But I want you guys to fill me in on something, because I've been out of the loop. So, from what I understand, there's this lady, right? Like this blue-haired lady, and she claimed that she was a victim of abuse. But there is a video of her that shows she wasn't being detained when she was claiming that she was. Is that correct? Like, am I getting the story good up until now? And she's now flagging that video everywhere off the internet, right? So she's going on YouTube, taking that video down. She's going on Twitter, taking it down. Stop it, Modern Haze. You're not smart. Like, just stop it. Stop it right there. There we go. Eliza. Yes, Eliza. So, is she from California? I don't know. She does look like from California. I mean, the visage is very California-like. So anyway, right, now she's banning and striking down these videos all over the internet, and I'm thinking, like, that makes her even more famous. Right? Like, if you let it go, like, people bring it up once and then they forget, but, like, if you make a big deal out of yourself, then more people start reporting on it, right? So, anyway, apparently, due to that, there is now beef between Tim Pool and the Quartering, which is very bizarre, because usually, like, Tim Pool doesn't block people, as far as I know. Like, he blocked Quartering today. So my question is, like, what exactly is going on? She is the daughter of a politician. Okay, but, like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, she can be the daughter of Jesus Christ himself. I don't understand. What's that have to do with her striking down YouTube videos and stuff? It's, people are comparing her with Mr. Murphy. What was it? Jack Murphy? Huh? I don't think anyone can raise to his level. I mean, the things that came out about that gentleman are legendary, but still. I guess the comparison is in the fact that you're using censorship in order to cover up the fact that you made a lie. Or at least you did something you're ashamed of. So Tim may be simping hard for her, but why though? Like, why would... Because from what I can gather, like, I don't see people supporting this lady. So I don't know the story. I'm legitimately serious. Like, normally I didn't care about it. Because I'm like, oh, well, it's some internet drama. I don't focus on it. But then I see Quartering getting banned by Tim Pool, and I'm like, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? It's like weird. I want to know. So, like, can anyone in the chat fill me in? I'm really curious about this. Maybe I'll find out. I don't want to die without knowing the story. This particular one, at least. Anywho. Let's see what else we got. Because we do have some interesting stories today. Oh, this one is fine. Look at this. I want to present this to the chat. Just give me a second so I can shut down all of the naughty links that I have that YouTube is not allowed to be privileged to. And here we go. Yeah, we got this lady, and this lady comes to us with a problem. Right, like she wants to know some of the mysteries of the universe. Hopefully we can enlighten her.
Woman, single, and over 30, you are called 剩女, which means
Oof. Oof.
leftover woman in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 羅底橙, 賣剩蔗, and 攝做辣, which means orange at the bottom of the basket.
That is an interesting metaphor. The orange at the bottom of the basket. That usually changes coloration, doesn't it? It becomes, right? Because like the more the oranges stay, like what happens with them? They become soggy, don't they? That is harsh.
the sugar cane that didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling the gap of the stove.
Hold on. Let's go back because the second one was interesting.
Which means orange at the bottom of the basket, the sugar cane.
The sugar cane that didn't get sold. The sugar cane that did not get sold.
That didn't get sold, and the thing used for filling
the thing used for filling the gap of the stove. Is that still a thing? People do still have stoves? This is why Biden wants to get rid of them. Sorry, this is why Nancy Pelosi wants to get rid of your stoves.
The gap of the stove. But if you're a man, single, and over 30, you are called 钻石王老五.
A diamond bachelor.
Which means a diamond bachelor in Mandarin. In Cantonese, you are called 笋盘.
Quality real estate.
Quality real estate.
Wait, so this is it, right? Like, there's no question? Like, she doesn't want to know anything? It's just like, she's leaving it there. She is just leaving it there, chat. She's leaving it for us to pick up the pieces. It's a little bit harsh, I know. Sugar cane that got used but never purchased. That is not Cantonese, I'm sorry. Like, that is not an actual expression. We can't force expressions, chat. Either they exist or they don't. We can't force stuff that's not in there. The sugar cane that got used but never purchased. Oh. Maybe we can we actually, like, if all of us say it, is it going to become a thing? Yeah, in internet slang is no ego. Yeah. I do not understand where the conflict is, because men and women, right, they're not treated equally. Like, there are differences. That doesn't mean they're unequal. I'm sorry. Like, they're equal in front of the law. But being a man, I wouldn't say it's easier to be a woman than to be a man, or vice versa, right? Like, there's various racial traits, you know, like when you play an MMO, like there's various racial traits. And you can have some advantages in some situation being a woman, and some disadvantages in other situations. So, for example, if you're a man, right, like she's complaining that men in their 30s are being cherished, right? Well, if you're a man, when you're 16, I would say, you know, like when your puberty hits, actually, right? And you start looking at the Ushikushi girls. Hello, Spoon. When you start looking at the Ushikushi girls, unless you're like the top of your class, like you're really good, like at being athletic, you're very funny, you're very creative. Unless you're like top of that, no one is going to look at you. You know, like you're just a man living with his parents, don't have a car, don't have an income. It's very difficult to find a girlfriend, right? Meanwhile, if you're 16 and you're a girl, I mean, especially if you're good looking, then you're the life of the party. Everyone wants to hang around with you. Everyone wants to buy you stuff if you go out on a date, right? Like, people want to buy you stuff. It's not difficult to get friends and get invited in places, right? So, like, of course, there is a difference. But you don't see men complaining, right? However, once you reach the age of 30, and you finally landed a job, you have a career, you're now making money, you're moving into your own house, yeah, of course, you know, like, that's when you can actually start a family and offer things. So that is why the things are the way they are. In Japan, it's called the last sushi container at the convenience store. Get the fuck out. You just made that up. There is no fucking way that is an expression in Japan. I refuse to believe that. But, you know, I did hear, like, some men being upset about the concept of it, right? So, like, when they're young and they want to have a girlfriend, all the women are ignoring them, right? And they're hanging out with Chad. And Chad isn't interested in a stable relationship. Chad is interested in the other girl. Which is fine, you know, like, it's a choice. Like, you don't have to, right? But, like, put yourself into the shoes of that particular man. So that particular man, you know, he wants a stable relationship, but he can't get one. Why? He doesn't have a job, doesn't have a car, right? He's not in the top 5%, not an athlete. So he gets a little bit upset about the situation. Now, when he is 30, and he finally does have a job, he does have a car, now women are coming to him. But it's the women that have been with 10 or 11 Chads, right? And they don't look the same, like, when they were in high school or after that, right? Like, so, yeah, like, the guy's a little bit upset. So what does he do, the guy in his 30s? Well, he's going to date younger women. He's going to date the 20-year-olds, the 22-year-olds. And he's not going to date the ones his age. But of course that's sexismo. I get that's bad. You're not supposed to do that. Like you're supposed to date whomever complains, I guess. No one wants Christmas cake after the 25th? Ooh. How do you guys come up with these expressions? Like, I've never heard about them. Is Christmas cake even a thing? That's another question. I never heard about this. I guess, like, if you're, well, I think I understand the expression. If your birthday happens to be after Christmas, you're kind of fucked. Like, I know people who, unfortunately, are cursed with this scenario. So their birthday is, like 26th, 27th, 28th December, especially if it's on Christmas or on New Year's. No one is going to celebrate. Like, no one is going to come to you. No one is going to give you presents. No one gives a shit. Like, people are already spending a lot of money with the Christmas. They're spending a lot of money with the New Year's. Christmas cake is a real concept? Oh my god, I did not know that. Christmas cake and ice cream. Holy shit. It's a Japanese thing. Oh, okay, fine. No, I understand now. I have been enlightened. Naruhodo intensifies. What can I say? Alright. Look at this. This one is even more beautiful. Like, this is the level of wishy-cushiness that you cannot find anywhere else besides on the internet. So, I saw this comic from the Toss That Stones. Insufferable personality competition. Meat is murder. You got this, champ. Nobody can stand us vegans. And he notices this individual. Now, I was wondering, like, what does it mean? And then I saw it. And it's like, wow, okay, look at this, champ.
You are dark, you are unphysical! What the hell is your problem? You're not even apologizing!
I know, I don't
yeah, you're a pedestrian!
Hold on, let me lower the volume a little bit, because I think it's going to bother my wife. Like, is that okay at this late at night to hear this?
Take it to do whatever you want!
You really make me laugh.
That's great. I'm really happy that you get a free comedy show.
Okay, and so is everyone else.
You were there illegally. Are you telling me that you had a green light?
No, plenty of them.
No!
Alright, you're right.
You were there illegally?
You're right. Yes, seriously.
No, I'm not doing anything wrong right now. I'm just telling you to fucking get your dog out of the way.
There's something wrong with that. You understand?
No, it's not. What's wrong with
I love how bored the doggo is. Like, I'm looking at the dog's expression, and it's almost like this is the 5th time this happened this month, and the dog is just used to it. The dog is like, oh, fucking hell. I do gotta say, though, like, the stones on this woman. Like, you see a man with a dog, and you're getting in his face like that. You know, like, the dog might be chill, but, like, you never know what can happen.
it? What's wrong with my right to have a Bible? What's wrong with my right to have a Bible?
You know, why don't they put this in Hollywood? Why isn't this the strong, empowered woman you get to see in Marvel? Wouldn't this be nice? You know, like, because they want realism, is what they want. Like they keep talking, it's like, oh, the boobs, the boobies, the breasts, they're not realistic. Realistic body proper. Why don't you have, like, the realism from TikTok? I mean, it's got 1.5 million views, so...
Agree to disagree, alright?
No, not disagree.
Yes, I don't
You
agree
broke
with
the
you.
law.
You know, she's right. I mean, I haven't seen the whole TikTok video, but, like, the guy isn't denying it. You know, like, busted. Thunderfoot should make a video.
I don't care what you think. Do you understand what I'm saying? It means nothing to me.
I
I've
know
lost
it
it.
means nothing to
So
you.
just go on with your day and I'll go on with
What's
mine.
going on with my day? Because I don't feel like it.
Look at this. Look at this. Look.
You want a different block.
No, I live on this block.
I live on this block. Ah! I love it. It's like I live on this block.
Yeah.
Who's going to win, chat? Who's going to win? The unstoppable force or the immovable object? I love how the taxi is boxing him in now. Like, even the taxi is in on it. They're conspiring. Is this America, chat? Like, is that normal? I've never heard something like this ever happening here, but... Well, yeah, I mean, look, he broke the law. She should have done it like Judge Dredd, like, you broke the law! Demolition Man law, yeah. A citizen arrest. You know what? That's what she should have gone for. She should have attempted a citizen arrest right there on the spot. Just pause the guy. It's like, you're under arrest. So the cause apparently was that he was walking on a red light. And we get to assume that this is the case because we don't get to see it, but she was with a bicycle and I think like she almost ran into him or something, right? So like she stops and then starts spurging out because he is running a red light. And the guy's like, yeah, you know, like, oh, okay, whatever, let me go now. V, please help. These places live the union, promote the idea. Dude, I don't think I can do that on YouTube. But tell you what, I heard China sent another balloon. We still don't know what they're for. That was, man, like when I first saw it, I was like, I want to go to America. This is so beautiful. Like you get free entertainment. You know, this is why Hollywood isn't doing good anymore. I mean, how can you compete with that? Now, look at this. This is also very fascinating for me. We are looking at, hold on. I need a side-by-side comparison. Ugh. Sorry, I'm just a little bit tired. That's all. There we go. Side-by-side comparison with this. So, this is a non-exhaustive calendar of LGBT plus. I like the fact that they don't even add the Q anymore. So it's non-exhaustive. Like there can be more than this, right? Like, but this is the start. It is safe to say it is beyond mere knowledge of existence. All right. Now, February. You got all these, right? And we're going to look at it. But you know, like what it reminds me of? Like, first of all, there's no fucking way like someone can remember all of them. So what they used to do in Christianity, we had calendars, right? So you have like the calendar, and it looks like this. Like the church prints out one every year, and you get to see what saints are on that particular day. So for example, you get 10 December, right? The saint Evlampie and his sister Evlampia, and you get the saint Vasian and Theophil, the preacher, right? So you go to the church, you buy this, and why are they important? You need to know when to fast, right? So, for example, if it's a red date, so like the black ones, like you got like 3 types of things, right? So you got like black days. Now the black days, they're like minor saints, you know, like people that may have done something important, but they're like normal days. And then you have like the days with the cross, right? So this is like a saint that did a lot of things, right? He did maybe like built a monastery, did something important for the church. And then you have red dates, right? So red crosses. And the red crosses are like saints that did something really impressive. Usually maybe something mystical, right? Like healed the sick or something. Okay. So when you have a red cross like this, you're not supposed to work in that day. And you're not supposed to eat meat, right? Like you're supposed to fast. And this is what this reminds me of, right? But like it doesn't even like we get to see the beginnings of that. We do not get to see taken like the proper form where I know like, okay, so on 4th of July, which is the International Non-Binary People Day, like do I fast or not? Like what exactly am I supposed to do with it? Right? Intersex Day of Remembrance, right? Intersex Solidarity Day. Like I'm not intersex. Am I showing solidarity? Yes. Like how do I show solidarity? Like you need to have like a list of things. And it's also weird, like World AIDS Day on December the 1st. I mean, this is a little bit problematic. Like you have to. Harvey Milk Day. What is Harvey Milk Day? pansexual and panromantic visibility day. So like, you don't get to see them. Is it like Halloween? Don't laugh, chat. This is important. Like, how can I be inclusive if I do not know these rules? I mean, they're really... Like on Halloween, you know, it's when the spirits become visible because they start going through the night. At least in some cultures. Depends on what culture you are. Thank you for the donation, Censor Doc. Really appreciate it. In relation to the thumbnail thing, is this how we create the Death Corps of Krieg? We're going to talk about the thumbnail in 10 minutes. You need to wait. But yes, apparently. It's the science. It's going forward. Harvey Milk was a California gay politician. Ah, I see. Oh, so now we need to remember him. Oh, that makes sense. So it's literally like a saint. Right? Because this is what saints actually are. Like, so I was close. I was very close, right? So for example, when you have like this one. Saint Misael from the Cherno Monastery. Right? Like, he was an important person that probably pushed the faith in some way. So now every time that his day comes up, people remember him. So that's pretty much what you're telling me, Aiden Paladin. And good evening, Vanilla Kung. Yeah. Oh my god, they popped the balloon. Okay, so finally crisis averted. Chat, the United States declares victory. U.S. fighter jets shoot down Chinese... Oh my god, the president is on the line. Hold on. We got the president on the line. This is huge.
Decided that the best time to do briefed on the balloon. Order the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday.
I love his facial expression. That is the most beautiful thing out of the entire... I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down, you know? And with the sunglasses as well. The Chinese send their garbage over our skies. I ordered the Pentagon to shoot it down. Shoot down that communist trinket right out of the sky. And we use fighter jets to do it. You know, they come up with balloons. What World War I technology is that? What are we going to bring next? The Zeppelin? We got fighter jet. We shot it out of the sky. Shut it down. I ordered it.
Possible. Briefed on the balloon. Order the Pentagon to shoot it down on Wednesday as soon as possible. They decided, without doing damage to anyone on the ground, they decided that the best time to do that was as it got over water outside within 12-mile limit. They successfully took it down, and I want to compliment our aviators.
Oh my fucking god. I don't think I ever seen such a victory speech for shooting down a balloon. Like, don't get me wrong, it had to be shot down, but like... He wants a standing ovation now. It's like, congratulations, you shut it down. Was it difficult? Did it engage in evasive maneuvers? Did it launch flares in order to confuse the heat-seeking missiles you shot after it?
We did it, and we'll have more to report on this a little later. Thank you.
Mr. President, what did you say about China? What's your message to China?
You were saying the recommendation was from your national
I
security.
told them to shoot it down.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
But the recommendation
They
from
said to me, let's wait till the safest place to do it.
What does this mean for China, relations with China?
He ordered it to shoot it down. Sick. And of course, you know, the actual interesting part, it's like, well, what is your message to China? Oh, well. I'll talk to them behind closed doors. You don't need to know about it. By the way, apparently, there's another one. Like, there's one over Mexico. Can Mexico even shoot it down? That is a good point. You know, like, the Chinese could have put a BLM logo on the balloon, and if America shoots it down, that's racism. The Nena video on YouTube is full of comments about the Chinese balloon now. Oh my god, I should see that. Oh, we got it popped in the air. Look at this.
And several different officials. Oh. Well, I believe it just happened there. That was it. Live, raw, and unfiltered. It appears that
Unfiltered. Did you see that, chat? Unfiltered. Apparently, FAA closes airspace off the coast of South Carolina. Biden says we're going to take care of it. Well, he did take care of it. When we saw it, mission accomplished. There was another guy, was really hilarious. I wonder if I saved his account. He was pretending to be the balloon and he was giving like really snarky remarks to people. He was hovering over the US. Unfortunately, I did not save the thing, but look, I mean, I give it props to the media. The news story is like what? 2 sentences long? There's a balloon over the United States, belongs to China, has to be shot down. Literally, that's it. But then the media goes like 3 days. Was it? It's Thursday, right? So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah, 3 days, non-stop talking about it. Non-stop, just balloon, 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 balloon. How the fuck can you do that? I do not have this ability. Like, I know how to stretch a subject, you know, like talk about something that's 2 minutes into 10, but I can't talk about something that's 2 minutes into 3 days. We play balloons in real life now? My god, what if it was like the Chinese version of It the Clown? Right? Hold on. I think I know why. What if it was this, chat? Gifts from China. I'm really curious about the cost effectiveness of it, because like, from my understanding, it's not really that easy to pop it. It's really high into the stratosphere, so you use a fighter jet, but the fighter jet costs fuel, right? And then the missile itself is expensive. So the question is, how much does the balloon cost versus how much it takes to take it down? Because at this rate, like, China can just keep sending them. China literally owns half the West Coast, but a balloon come out. No, I do understand. No, the balloon, look. There are some people who don't get it, and I'll help you understand, right? It's the principle of it, motherfucker. It's the principle of it, right? It's not the fact that the balloon is dangerous in itself. Because, like, China has satellites. It can already see stuff, right? It doesn't need to use World War I technology. Or is it World War II? Let's put it World War II, because I guess it's like a more sophisticated balloon. It doesn't need to use World War II technology in order to spy on the United States. But it is a violation of airspace, right? So it's the principle of it. It's kind of like, imagine if China started moving a tank through Texas. Right? I mean, it's not okay. It's not nice. Right? So a balloon, an air drone, a plane, those are not okay. A satellite is different, right? Because even like through the nature of the satellite, it spins around the Earth. Like, there's not much you can do about it. Next time we should draw a penis on it. I don't think you can, man. Like, you don't understand just how high up that thing is. It's really up in the sky. So balloon tower defense, yes. Napoleon used balloons, yeah, but I don't know if they actually went to the stratosphere, right? Like, this is the difference. Like, this one is very high altitude. It's got high tech on it. It's a test for US response time and how fast they react to a threat perceived. You can do that by sending spies. I mean, this actually ruins diplomatic relationships, right? Like, the only reason the Chinese did it is because they wanted to know they wanted the US to know that they did it. That's it. But, like, I don't know. It is what it is. Some people say that maybe there's going to be a scandal coming from China and they want this to be as a distraction. Yeah, it was near orbit. It was very high up. It's interesting, like, how did they even spot it? I guess they use radar. A MiG-25 could reach it? Okay, well, they did reach it. It's not anymore. Right, so let's look at the news that we were planning to talk about. By the way, regarding AI, right? Like, because I really thought about it. Neurosama. You guys saw my video? So there's this AI. Look at Neuro-sama. Now he's doing React videos. Neuro-sama. Neuro-sama highlight. Best moments. Alright.
Do you guys know the the AI VTuber? Yeah, I've been watching her lately. I don't know. Something about her is just so funny to me. Like everything.
I'm gonna
that
keep
comes out of
watching
her
this for
mouth
now,
is so
LOL.
funny. I think.
Right, so the VTuber here, right, is completely artificially generated. Like, she's an AI. And there's no person, like, doing these interactions. And now she's doing live video reacts. And people are upset because she's doing it better than most Twitch streamers. And Twitch streamers just don't understand why. Right? Like, they're freaking out and they're like, oh my god, you know, like this AI, there's no soul behind it. And I'm like, how is it different than you guys? Like, you guys have no soul behind it either. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But anyway, right, so Neuro-sama may replace Twitch streamers because, well, obviously this is like a very initial model. But with time, like, they can get very animated, and I think Bandai Namco, a Japanese company, is now pulling out 3 AIs of their versions in order to entertain the chat. We're going to see that, how it goes. I was thinking about it, right? So, you really can't compete with this shit. Because it can stream 24/7, it can speak in different languages, it can interact with the chat, it knows who you are in the chat, right? So, it's very difficult. But I'm thinking, like, in the future, what's stopping people from owning the AI? Because right now it's difficult to own one. But I assume in the future you can buy one, right? And then you can customize it. So for me, I might want a Sakubasu. And the Sakubasu is red-pilled, really likes knitting, likes making jokes. And then you have that, right? Like your customized version of AI. But I was thinking even better. Instead of just having like the AI just do react and stuff, you can have it as a co-host. So, you have your waifu as a co-host, and it's got, like, almost infinite knowledge. Like, an article comes up, and you go, like, hey, waifu, what's this? And the waifu starts telling you, like, it's a Wikipedia page. Like, hey, waifu, take care of the chat, I need to take a piss. And then she interacts with the chat. Or you can just bounce jokes off of her. Like, that would be something that you can do. I don't understand why these Twitch streamers are so scared of this shit. And the idea that, like, oh, well, it's so easy to do this. Apparently, the owner that has her is always there. Like, he needs to make sure that she doesn't glitch. Needs to make sure that she doesn't spurg out and starts talking nonsense. Needs to make sure that she doesn't get canceled again by talking about the Holocaust. Right? Like, he needs to do all of these things. And, it's not an easy job. I mean, if it was an easy job, everyone would do it. But that is, like, the future of AI, I think. It's like, while it does replace jobs, I do think that it can also allow people to become business owners. Yeah, you can literally have pet AIs like Pokemons. That's what I'm thinking. Those streamers might actually have to work, yeah. It is very interesting. Like so many people were upset about this. And you know what? When I saw a similar event, because this happened again. Like there were a lot of streamers that got pissed off about technology in the past. And it was with VTubing. So, Project Melody got kicked off of Twitch, if I remember correctly, at the time. This was like 3 or 4 years ago. So, Project Melody gets kicked off. And what ends up happening is that she goes on this website. I don't know if it was Chatterbait. I think it was another website. But it was like a porn website. Like, she was doing like lewd stuff at the time. And she goes on this website. And immediately, all the women that are upset because she's on the front page, right? Like, you got this website, and it's like basic bitch, cam girl, not safe for work stuff, right? You pay, you talk to the cam girl. And you have, like, on the front page of it, like, literally the first, and this was before VTubers were a thing, but, like, literally the first Project Melody VTuber on the site, they were livid. They were livid. They accused her of being a man. They accused her of, like, how is it fair? Because she gets to hide her identity and they can't. How is it fair? Because, like, she might be ugly behind the avatar. Right? Like, all of that thing. Oh, it was Charbait. Okay. Like, all of those things were being... I was laughing my ass off. And this is the same, with the AI coming to Twitch. And all of these people that are like trying to get Eurosaba banned, you know, like maybe you can. You know, maybe you can get her banned. But how are you going to get Bandai Namco banned? Because like when Bandai Namco is going to come to Twitch, they're a mega corporation. They're probably going to pay money to Twitch in order to get like exclusivity and shit. You're not going to get them banned. So literally what you're doing is you're supporting the corporations rather than supporting the little guy. But it is what it is, you know? Oh, Yuki Mirai remembers. Melody was the first well-known English-speaking VTuber. Yeah, that is correct. The local entertainers were hashtag concerned. They were. They were very hashtag concerned. Remember when teachers were worried about the internet, but they made you reproduce the literature critics by heart? Oh my fucking god. Yeah, no, like the ChatGPT owner, the CEO, I think. He told the teachers to grow the fuck up, and I do agree with it, right? Like he told the teachers, look, you need to start modernizing and find out ways to stop bitching that your students use AI. Because it's the same thing like bitching that your students use Google. There's literally not much difference. You know, maybe if you give students actual homework that makes sense and is more logical rather than just the type of homework that ChatGPT can do, maybe they will actually do the homework. I don't know, it's just that I think teachers are really lazy when it comes to this. Like if I was a teacher, right, and I give you homework, and you do the homework using ChatGPT, the next thing that I would do is when I go to class, I start asking you about your fucking homework. And if you don't know, you get an F. If you know, you get an A. That's how it should go. Right? Like, if the person did the homework using ChatGPT, but that actually knows what was written there, why the fuck do I care? I literally don't care more than that. If you actually know what ChatGPT wrote and you can articulate it and explain it to me, that's an A+. Who cares if ChatGPT wrote it? Supporting the little guy. Why, thank you, Orokushi. I do appreciate it. Yeah, it matters that they learn, not how they learn. Exactly. And not to mention, we live in an age where technology is advancing, and like people will have to use this technology. You need to learn how to ask the fucking AI to do things for you. It's not that easy. You can't just go into ChatGPT and say, hey, make my homework. Not to mention, ChatGPT a lot of time gives you lies and misinformation. So not only do you have to know how to ask it properly to get the correct result, but you also need to know how to separate the truth from lie that it gives you. It's got a heavy liberal bias. You need to account for that. It's not so simple. You know, like teachers make it sound like, oh, well, you know, he just typed a couple of words and all of a sudden his entire homework was there. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah, maybe this will actually bring the oral tradition about actually talking about the subject. If V wants to quadruple his sub count, all he has to do is to use a waifu VTuber. You know, I can actually do that now. Right? So, if I use deepfake audio, I can actually have a waifu VTuber. Now you can actually make a channel. This is going to be very difficult for YouTube to find out if someone is a man or a woman, because they use algorithms, right, in order to like boost or well, actually just boost, not suppress, but they use algorithms in order to boost certain people, and it's like, well, I can sound like a person of color that's a woman, and I get cred. But yeah, no, like with the deepfake, there's going to be a lot of men. Like I guarantee to you, there's going to be an influx in VTubing. Hentai waifu co-host. Yeah, no, the co-host as a AI, like that's definitely something that I will do. Like if it's ever available for streamers to have AIs, the first thing that I'm going to look into is like, how can I have an AI that's a co-host? I would even use it to make videos. Anyway, right, let's talk about the subject. So, should brain-dead women be kept alive? This is just, wow. This is a professor in philosophy. Oh my god. So, should brain-dead women be kept alive and used for surrogates? Expert float the idea. How about you don't? You know, if you float the idea about eugenics, it's being shut down immediately, as it should. But if you float the idea about this stuff, which is creepy as fuck, you can make a really nice horror movie out of this concept, can't you? So, apparently an arrangement so women can agree to letting their body be used to give childless couples a chance at having a baby. You know, like, there are a lot of things that people can consent for, but is denied. Like, for example, and I'm not even kidding, there are, people who are trans-abled, right? So not transgender, trans-abled. What this means, and you can look it up, it's a very interesting condition. There are people who believe that a part of them isn't actually theirs. So, like, they believe that their arm doesn't actually belong to them, right? Or people who want to be blind. I know it sounds ridiculous, but there is a very small, very fringe percent of the population that is suffering from this condition. And, you know, like, they literally want that part removed. And, of course, the hospitals don't allow it, so what they do, in some extreme cases, like, they injure themselves and then they go to the hospital. But, like, I understand why the hospitals don't allow it, right? It's not fucking ethical to amputate something that is healthy, like to amputate someone's arm if it's healthy, right? We don't do that, even if the person has consent. So it's the same thing here. It's like, should brain dead women be kept alive if they agree? No! Think about the kids as well. It's like, how were you born? Well, your mother was brain dead when you were... Jesus fucking Christ, man. So, that's outrageously controversial concept being floated. Apparently, it's a Norwegian writer, which admits, like, even the writer admits, it's disturbing. But apparently, it can help gay and infertile couples. Oh, well, now, look. If it can help gay and infertile couples, then maybe we should do it. Maybe we should consider, I mean, look. Gay and infertile couples, so... I feel like this is worse than The Handmaid's Tale. This is, Black Mirror level shit. Women would avoid the pregnancy health risks. Oh my fucking god. Like, yes. So no, like, what? I'm usually a person that is quick to come up with rhetorics and with retorts, but in this specific instance, I genuinely don't know what the fuck to say. I am completely silent. Look at this, alright? Women would avoid the pregnancy health risk. Motherfucker, the person who is brain dead is still a woman, right? Like the person that you're saying, right? So this is the idea. Should brain dead women? It's still a woman. It still counts. Women would avoid pregnancy health risks such as high blood pressure along with emotional trauma as a result of complication. And it tackles the problem of a lack of surrogates. Dr. Smajdor, who described the concept as a whole-body gestational donation. Holy fucking... Like, dude, when you say that, you know, like when you say something and it sounds like out of a horror movie, maybe you should stop. Whole-body gestational donation. Nothing is too stupid or too immoral for the experts to suggest. Does this only apply to medically diagnosed, or can we expand it to people who are dumb? Right now, they're flirting with the idea, alright? Like, they're just flirting with it. It is going into 40k servitor territory. Wasn't that like a thing in Dune, right? Like in the book Dune, didn't you have like what was it? There were like an entire house that did this, not House X, House Gilatsu. What the fuck was it? Teilaxu. Well, there was a house in Dune that was like very focused on genetically engineering humans. And they were male only because the women were literally being treated like that. Get in the birthing pod, birthing person. Yeah. Teilaxu. Yes, Teilaxu, whatever. Yeah, that was a thing in Dune. The little concept of human resources. Yes, that is HR. Do you want to sign this paper so you become HR? V, I'm sure you know how much money it takes to keep a brain-dead body alive medically, yes? Not only is it gross and violent... No, but like, so the thing is, there are cheaper ways to do it. The person who's suggesting this is not a doctor. The person who's suggesting this is a philosopher, right? So she's just philosophizing. She's not a... She said it's not a piece of science fiction and the prospect could appease some feminists. How the fuck can it appease? So, as Aidan Paladin said, right? Keeping a person medicated in order to, like, survive being brain dead. Like, there are so many complications that can happen with that pregnancy. It's not even fucking funny. Like, it's not even remotely funny. This person has absolutely no idea about medical science. But whatever, you know. She doesn't have to know anything in order to be creepy as fuck. Under the theory, brain-dead women would be used as surrogates if they had consent to be given so for beforehand. It would involve putting embryos into these women's uteruses. Brain death is permanent, meaning that the affected person would never regain consciousness. They are legally claimed dead. It can be caused by a cardiac arrest or a heart attack or other injuries. A vegetative state, yes. Oh, this is the lady? Writing in theoretical medicine and bioethics. Oh my fucking god. If this is the person writing in bioethics, I'm curious how the person that writes in bio... What is the opposite of ethics? Hold on, I need to find the word. The opposite of ethics. Immorality, right? So, bio-immorality. I would want to know what type of person writes in bio-immorality, because this is the person that writes in bioethics. Are these the birthing pods they suggested earlier this year? Or are they just getting us with the idea first? No, I think I think the birthing pods that they suggested earlier are different. Ethics and philosophy professors are usually the most immoral people I have ever met. They can justify anything. Man, like, I think you're right. Like, I'm trying to think about what articles I read in bioethics journals, and, like, literally every single one gives me the heebie-jeebies. No exception. Every single fucking time they come up with, like, the most immoral stuff imaginable. If the brain is dead, it depends on the state of the brain. From my knowledge, but many, if not all, autonomic functions are being run by machines anyway. It's just needlessly gross. It is needlessly gross, but it's not the fact that it's gross. But not only that, like, think about the family, right? Like, think about your wife or your daughter. Like, she is having a baby in a hospital, but, like, she's never going to wake up. Like, that's unbelievably fucked up, right? Like, it's traumatic for the family. What type of person would sign something like this? Like, how desperate must you be in order to sign such a paper? How long it's up an option for biological females to just sign up a year for being a birthing pod? You can already do that, actually. Like, you can, the idea of surrogate mothers exists. So if you're a woman, you can be a surrogate mother. But, like, you're raising a child for another person. And by the way, it's very emotionally traumatic, right? Because when women are pregnant, there's a lot of hormones that are making the woman to care for the child. So even though, like, the child is not yours, right? And it's, like, a different embryo and stuff. Like, she also gets attached, and what ends up happening is, like, when they actually have to give it away, they get very emotional, they get very depressed. Yeah, the logical conclusion is that they would actually turn it into a business. Do you follow the Eliza Blue? No, like, I started this stream with a question about Eliza Blue, and no one has answered yet. Like, what exactly is up with her? So I understand, like, she is flagging a video of herself all over from the internet. Okay, like, I get that. Everyone is talking about her, like, she's Jack Murphy level famous now. Last time I checked, she found Jesus. But, apparently Tim Pool doesn't speak with the quartering. Like, that's something that I'm curious. Thank you for the $5, Glow in the Dark. I can imagine someone would intentionally get married to someone else and make them brain dead for a stable income. No, I can't imagine that. Usually people aren't... I would like to imagine that people aren't that psychotic. But, like, yeah, sure, okay, fine. Out of a country of 300 million people, you can find such cases. I have all the details I can explain. Just the too long didn't read version. That's all I want. Why did Tim block Jeremy? Because Tim Pool doesn't block anyone. We talked about Tim Pool shutting down the balloon. She has connections with Twitter, trust, and safety. Does she, though? I don't think she does, because Twitter trust and safety has almost entirely been taken out. I got many people banned from Twitter for sharing an image for salacious music video. I think like the way Twitter trust and safety works is if you show them that a video has your liking in it, they have to take it down, right? I think it's the same with YouTube. I think it may be some privacy law in the United States. I'm not sure. But like these companies have to take the thing down. She is claiming a screenshot of a publicly available music video. No, I get that, But like, why did Tim Pool ban the quartering? That's what I know. That's what I want to know. She has a direct line to that Iron woman. Okay, well, I guess I was wrong. I'm not getting Aiden on because I'm only here for 9 more minutes. By the way, we're going to watch Conan the Barbarian tomorrow night, so don't forget about that. Eliza Blue is allegedly a sex trafficking survivor and survivor advocate. She worked with Elon's team to develop new rules on Twitter against CP and exploitation. She is now abusing this. Oh, I see. Naruhodo. Naruhodo intensifies. So, yeah, but like, why did Tim Pool ban the quartering? This is what I want to know. She was paid for the music. I don't care. Why did Tim Pool ban the quartering? Probably because he kept nagging him about taking Blue's side. Is that it? What hour is Conan? I think 2 hours before now. Or 1 hour before now. I'll decide. I'll let you know. There will be an announcement tomorrow. Because the thing was like between Tim Pool and quartering, everything was fine, and then everything wasn't. Tim is a simp, but why though? Like in this situation, because I get it, you know, like if there's someone that has like an into the Trust and Safety Council, and you don't want them to ruin your business, just stay neutral, right? Like don't take sides. Just like, I don't know, I don't care, I don't want to know, I'm out. That's what you should do, right? But like, well, actually, you should man up. Look, like if the quartering and all the other people, if they give me a second. But if the quartering and all the other people, if they can stand up to this, like so can Tim Pool, right? Like there is a time where you're supposed to man up, even if you do have a business. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just Twitter, you know. Like what's the worst they can do to you? Oh, they're taking down one of your tweets. Oh, fantastic. Tim thinks the quartering is making his fans harass him with super chats in order to talk about it. And Tim claims he doesn't want to get involved in the online drama. Oh my god, not harassment with super chats. Anything but that. Oh god, harassment with super chats. No, please don't do it to me, guys. Please don't do it to me. Do not harass me with super chats. Why can't you just say, look, I'm not talking about this? Right, like, and that's it. If you guys give me super chats, that's fine. I appreciate it, but I'm not talking about it. That's literally all you have to do. Like, literally it. It's like, thank you for the super chat, Bob, but I said that I'm not addressing it. How hard is that, chat? How hard is that? Yeah, imagine not being a... Well, I mean, Tim Pool, like what? He's got the chicken farm, right? Chicken City. And it makes like what? Like $1,000 or $2,000 per week? Per month, sorry. Just by letting the chickens roam free. And not doing anything else. So yeah, I mean, maybe he does have so many super chats that he is getting harassed with them. Canadian youth unveiling to save on the budget. Canadians use unaliving to save on the budget. It isn't a stretch to have the government mandate to help pay the medical bills or supplement budget. I don't think like this is going to be a thing, by the way. Like women that are brain dead to be made into surrogate mothers. I do not think so. The biggest reason is that it's very expensive. The second reason is that it's probably a lot more feasible to just create an artificial womb at this point. Like, if you're going to make an industry out of it. Receive the harassment, equivalent fear. Well, I'm sorry, Anglo. I just wish you were going to stop. And you, the jester. Harassment income. Yeah, please stop doing that. Please stop it, or I'm going to block another YouTuber. I'm going to block Aiden Paladin. She's making you guys harass me. Tim's strategy is wait until it goes away. Wasn't it the same with Jack Murphy? If I remember correctly, like Tim just didn't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I kind of get where he's coming from, right? Like, you don't... So, if you're a person which relies on guests in order to make your show, right? Like, every week he's got a different guest. You don't want to be rude to the guests and start taking sides and shit. Like, Joe Rogan doesn't do that either. I feel like the only time he did was with the CNN doctor. But that probably pissed him off. Tim Pool blocks me on all the platforms over the Eliza Blue story. Please hear me out, Timcast. Why don't you just tell people that you're not talking about it? Like, just say, I'm not interested, I understand what's going on, but like, I don't want to discuss it. And literally, that's it. And then when you get a super chat or people bugging you, you're like, no, I'm not discussing it. I'm not talking about it. Because, like, people know you don't want to talk about it. Yeah, you can just say, like, look, I think it's petty internet drama. Like, that's literally it. Like, if I was Tim Pool, I would come online and I would say, look, I understand there's internet drama with this lady, right? I don't think that I'm going to address it. I don't really like talking about drama, blah, 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 blah. If you give me super chats, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to respond to them. And that's it. Literally, that's all you gotta fucking do. Yeah, like, not addressing it makes people pester you more. Makes you look like a coward. Especially when other YouTubers address... Like, I would understand not addressing it if it was against YouTube's TOS, right? You got, like, $1 billion business like Tim Pool has. He's got $1 billion business using YouTube. Fine. Oh, apparently, Neurosama AI will be partnered on Twitch. Ah. Neurosama partnered on Twitch. That is interesting. How long until she gets banned? How long until she talks about the Holocaust, chat? You know what? Let's start the poll. Let's start the poll. Pop-out chapter, community moderation, no. Where is the... Ah, here we go. Engage with your audience. I got tools, chat. I got community tools. So, how long until Neurosama gets banned? 1 month. 1 year. Never. Wait, why can't I ask my community? There we go. No, it's not bare hair day. It's just that the phone broke and I'm too lazy to fix it. See what we get? People are saying, what, buff? Oof. The never one is very interesting. Because I would vote never. I do think that they probably spoke behind the scenes that, like, and Twitch understands, okay, it's an AI, right? It doesn't have intent. I think, like, the owner probably has a way in order to stop her from speaking out. But I think Twitch wants her. Because, like, she's very famous, and Twitch understands that there's going to be companies in the future that will use AI. And yeah, like, the AI can say dumb shit, but, like, what can you do? Are you serious? The hell with Jeremy. He is literally the worst. I've seen through him for years now. Yeah, but like, dude, Zephyr. When we're analyzing a situation, we do not take into account the person's past personality. Like, I'm only talking through this issue, right? Like, if Jeremy gets to talk about something on YouTube, so should you, if you're a YouTuber, right? Like, if he addresses a subject, then it's safe enough to be addressed by everyone. Like, trust me on this. If like, to have Jeremy the Quartering wanting to address something and someone else not, that makes the other person look bad, because usually it's Jeremy that doesn't address his topics, right? Like, he's the one that's very community guideline and strict and everything else. So when you have the Quartering talk about something and you're not even bringing it up, I mean, what does that say about you? Yeah, exactly. Like someone said, it's like if you think the Quartering is awful, making him look good makes you look worse. That's the point, Zephyr. Anywho, I think the poll is done. 64% say 1 month. I think you're wrong. I think it will be never, but I would not be surprised if it's 1 year. Poor AI is going to get lobotomized. That is so fucking sad. Anyway, right. Thank you guys for watching. I need to go make videos for my other channels. Thank you for the super chats and the donations. I appreciate it. And I will see you